Ooh, hello, hello. Hello, friend. Hello, hello. Well, I'm really excited, guys, because it's been quite a long time for me without speaking English because I've been recording some videos in Portuguese. Do you want to watch them? They have been like really interesting. And of course, I love Portuguese. But, well, I was missing speaking English because I don't know. So it is like it's a little bit funny what I'm gonna say, but it is as when you spend time with one friend for quite a long time, and then you want to spend time with another friend and so on. So it's so nice. And actually, guys, this introduction is very interesting because today I would like to share with you why the ultimate challenge that you can take to become a better version of yourself is to learn the language. You know, of course we have a lot of strategies online. I mean, some of them are more, let's say, science based, some of them are more pragmatical, or let's say based on different personal stories. But I wanted to propose you guys this one just for you to have an idea. I mean, or uh, let's say if you feel that you're a little bit stuck in life, maybe this challenge is going to be quite interesting for you to consider. And I would like to share with you how languages have changed my life in a way, but not with the same approach as in other videos, but to show you guys how it has helped me improve, let's say, my life, in different aspects. So the very first one, guys, is frustration. Well, of course, guys, I'm talking about languages here, but I mean, whether you want to learn how to play the guitar, or let's say if you want to, let's say, to be the best gamer ever, or I mean, the hobby you want to. So there's always this sensation of frustration at the beginning that we're learning the concepts, or in which we're learning the concepts. I mean, we're learning how to play the game, how to get familiarized with the activity that we're doing, and it is extremely frustrating because you feel, well, at the beginning, at the very beginning, you feel excited because you feel that your progress is quite fast, but there's a moment of plateau that you feel like, wow, I'm not progressing, I'm not going backwards, I'm not going forward. So yeah, I mean, like, what to do in these cases. But I think ice is very nice, especially in terms of languages, because I mean, you have this frustration, of course, but the things that you have a goal in mind as well. For example, guys, I would like to take English as a reference. I remember, guys, there was a moment that I was feeling like, well, I've been studying English for quite a long time and so on. So I've been doing my best. I mean, in order to communicate myself in English, but I don't feel that I'm progressing. I don't feel that I'm, let's say, doing my best in communicating with people. Of course, I don't know, guys, if you ever had this this sensation. Maybe it happens to me because I record videos. And meanwhile I'm speaking, I feel like, wow, what I share with the guys today was horrible, because anything made sense. But once you watch the video, you feel like, wow, that was neat, that was cool. And I used to have, or much better, I had a frustration time like that, so I was into, oh, what's going on, I mean, with my progress and so on. So but when you have a goal in mind, which is, guys, I mean, talking about my ultimate goals in English, I would say that the biggest one is to be an ambassador. I would like to work with something like with diplomacy or something like that. I think I've told you in a previous video that this is one of the things that I really want to do. I don't know, like to wear, guys, personally, you know me. I don't like to wear like really fancy clothes and etc. But it would be nice to have like a suit and tie and, well, good morning, the ambassador of this country, and or I work for the embassy of this country, and, well, here I am to help you guys, I mean, with these different inconveniences and so on. So wow, I think that would be like a 1000% aura. Like, oh, okay, here I am to help you. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, so oh my gosh. No, but I actually, whatever your goal is, I mean, languages can give you that purpose, and when you know that you have that goal in mind, then you can keep working really hard on what you have in mind. So this is one of the things that I feel that languages bring us when we're learning them, because then you can transfer that frustration from that you learned. I mean, from trying to learn the language into other aspects of your life. So then, if you tend to be like a very impatient person, learning a language is the best solution, because the thing is, guys, if you yeah, basically, if you're having a personal situation or a situation at work, and let's say your boss is, let's say, very frustrated with you, or a family member is very frustrated with you, let's say these skills are transferable, so you can start by thinking the same way you think when you're learning a language, on how to deal, for example, with your boss or with a personal crisis and so on. So I would like to share a personal anecdote, guys. I have some family members, my sister, because she complained that I never talked about her in this video, so I'm gonna use her example here. So sis, here you are. Well, let's see. Yeah, my sister is a very, how can I say, like, she really defends her convictions. You know what I mean? I mean, like, she's a person who really likes to fight for her ideas and stand up for her ideas. The thing is, sometimes there are things that, from my point of view, are, let's say, not that logical. And because, I mean, like, well, generally related to money things, like investments and whatever. And then she says, like, Eric, I'm having this problem with this money or with this situation and whatever. What do you think I should do? So I offer my opinion and etc. But normally she says, like, no, come on, this is not the best way and etc. So in the past, guys, I used to be like, oh yeah, I used to be like very confrontational. But something that languages have taught me is to just chill. I mean, just chill and understand that the person needs her time, or the person need, yeah, their time, I mean, to reconsider things or to take their time. Well, also for me to identify whether or not I am making a mistake. I can give you like a really silly example with languages. For instance, I remember, guys, I used to say take part in, sorry, take part of something, so I'm going to take part of this situation or this event and whatever. And I was extremely convinced, guys, that that was the preposition, take part in. No, sorry, take part of was my mistake. And I remember, guys, I was with all people's, let's say, entering into really ridiculous fights. Like, no, you are supposed to say take part of something. And then, guys, one day I had like that hunch, like, let's check this preposition once again. And it was like, take part in. And I was like, oh my God. So then it is good, guys, because you can also reconsider whether or not your opinion is correct. So yeah, this is something that definitely definitely languages can help us with. I mean, to be patient and also to know when to keep going into a particular situation, and the importance of checking information before getting into fights and whatever. So recommended, guys. Also, I would say, guys, that the second point, because I would like to keep this video brief in a way, it's very cold, guys. I want to, well, I want to, and I need to go to a shopping center, which is, guys, it's like 6 p.m. But well, so shopping centers regularly on Sundays, they close at, let's say, 9 or something like that. So I want to go there and, well, buy some stuff that I need. But anyway, here we are. So Eric, focus on the present moment. Well, guys, the second point, which is the most important. Anyway, guys, I've been drinking mate, which is this. Let me just refill mine because, guys, it's very cold today. It's very very cold. And well, so if well, for the ones who don't know what is this, it is like tea, yes, because I've traveled to other countries in which they have seen me drinking this, and they think that is something not that legal, but no, actually it is. It is the classical tea you drink. The difference is that the tea is not like in the bags. You know, imagine that you ripped like a lot of bags, and you put it in this way. Let's say, and well, the coolest thing is that you have like this, let's say, this cup that could be a regular cup, you know, and you got like this straw. I mean, in order to look cool, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, like, it serves as a filter, but I think it's like very cool. I mean, the way it is manufactured, you know. Even there's like a horse and everything. It's like pretty elegant. I feel like, well, I know, guys, that I mean, maybe we're very young for that, but I imagine myself like these grandpas. I mean, with their pipes. Do you call them like these kind of cigars or something like that? I mean, like the one that Popeye used to have. You know, like, remember when I was 20, and life was easier. So I kind of feel this way. You know? So freaking silly. Oh my gosh. Guys, you are supposed to stop watching my videos, please. No, I'm just kidding. Well, anyway, after that break, let's go back. Let's go back to serious mode. Okay. Well, guys, talking about the second factor that languages can bring to the table. I mean, in order for you to have, let's say, this personal growth, is the empathy, guys. Definitely. Um, when I had the chance, I mean, to learn my first language, besides, I mean, my native language, it was very interesting, guys, because um, I saw everything from one perspective, you know. So, and for example, guys, when I started learning English, for me, I mean, some verbs or let's say some grammar constructions and etc. challenged me. I said, like, well, why is this in this way and not in a way? I'm going to tell you like a really simple and silly example. In Portuguese and in Spanish, we tend to say, I have years, you know? For example, I have. Oh, I know that it is incorrect, guys, but I mean, just to illustrate. I have 33 years old, you know? So in these two languages, you talk about that as a possession, you know? Like I have, you know? In French as well, like, je 33 et 33 ans, okay? Uh, but in English, you are that, you know. So you are the age. I'm 33. I'm 34. I'm 30. Whatever, you know. And these kind of differences, you start challenging yourself and thinking like, well, why Americans or why British people or Australians or Indian people tend to say I am, you know. Or for example, guys, I really like this difference between do and make, you know, that we Portuguese, Spanish, or any other language, we have this difficulty with, like, guys, why do you say, I know the grammar, guys, come on, but why don't you say like do a decision but instead make a decision, you know? But well, of course, I can give you more examples about that. But the thing is that when you notice these differences in communication, even with the use of verbs, you start thinking, well, maybe there's something beyond the mere use of the language, you know? And something, guys, that I can notice, I mean, when, for example, I get myself into speaking English, for instance, is that when I have a problem or something like that, um, I would watch a podcast or something of the kind, and I noticed that, for example, most of the content in English is very pragmatical. I noticed that English is like a very not pragmatical, sorry guys, very practical language, you know, like, okay, so even the way you write an email is very boom boom, you know. So, well, hello, whatever, I am blah blah blah, I'm writing to you because of this and this, best regards, that's it, you know. Whereas, for example, in Spanish or in Portuguese, we tend to be more, let's say, diplomatic and so on. And I hope you're doing well, and kisses to your family, friends, and girlfriend, and whatever. And this is cool, guys, because you can identify or you can bring little by little some elements from the different cultures and try to have some kind of an homogeneous approach to life, you know. And this is excellent because when you notice, guys, for example, if an interaction is being like super dense and the person is beating around the bush, you can bring these elements, for example, from English and be more like, okay, guys, so we need to focus on this, we need to focus on that. So this is excellent. Sorry, guys. Well, the thing is that this is excellent because I mean you can start taking elements from both, from both cultures, and you can create your own, right? For example, guys, something that I really want to bring to these videos, but I'm still figuring out how to do it because I don't want to exaggerate my approach to English, you know. But I notice, guys, and this is something, for example, that I need to work on all my languages. That uh, I'm trying to find like a funny version of myself in English because I don't want to sound like super, you know, serious and whatever. And sometimes I feel this vibe, but I don't want to be like a clown, you know, like, oh, hello guys, welcome to the channel. No, no, no. I want to keep my vibe, but I mean, a way that you feel like you're really drinking mate with your bros, you know, or like, you know, there's this joke, and this is something that I'm still figuring out because I know that, well, English has maybe a different sense of humor than, for example, the one we have in English. Sorry, we have in Spanish or Portuguese. So it is great, guys, because you start feeling that empathy for the other person, or let's say other cultures. You feel like, wow, maybe, for example, guys, something that I notice is that, well, it's my mere perception, guys. I don't want to offend anyone. Well, I'm offending anyone because everyone, because when you say that you don't want to offend people, so it's because you want to offend them. So I'm with my bros, so I know you will get it. But the thing is that I notice, guys, that maybe English speakers, they tend to be like very apologetic. That's the word. Like, oh, so sorry, I don't want to offend you, and it's okay, and so on. And maybe, guys, when you learn a language that is, well, when you learn a language and you live in another country, I talked about that in a previous video. You guys try to take literally the same words you use in English to interact with us, you know, and vice versa. Then you are with us and you really want to make jokes and so on and etc, but you prefer to have your approach like, oh, okay, so thank you, sorry, and whatever. And, well, maybe understanding these cultural elements could make you feel like happier, you know. You would be like, oh, I got my, let's say, my Argentinian friends or my Ecuadorian friends. So, it's amazing. I'm going to make these jokes and etc. And, well, you can enjoy much more of that experience. And also, guys, if you're learning how to do that in Spanish efficiently, you can bring these elements. I mean, whenever you're speaking English, there's a particular example, guys, that I would like to mention in case you want to take a look at his videos. There's this guy. Well, there's this channel called How to Beast. The name of the main character is David de las Morenas. Is his name, and it's very funny because he learned Spanish because he has like some ancestors who are from Spain and etc. And he started the same process as I'm doing, guys. I mean, with YouTube, with just a couple of people watching the videos and etc. But the thing is that once he, I mean, at the beginning, he was like a very introverted guy and very shy and etc. And once he started learning Spanish, I mean, as a hobby and etc., his approaches were more interesting and so on. And he started making jokes. I mean, for example, like "Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás?" and things of the kind. And I think it's nice, guys. For example, I was watching a video a couple of days ago, and it was a Venezuelan. Well, she didn't say she was Venezuelan at the beginning of the video. She was, in her accent, guys, was beautiful in English. It was like so pleasant to listen to. She was talking about something of immigration as well and so on. So it was quite cool. And then she said something like, yeah, she said, I don't remember, guys, what was the word. Oh yes, she said about word in in Spanish, in Venezuelan Spanish, and it was very funny, and I was like, whoa, wow, And then she explained, oh, guys, by the way, I'm Venezuelan, and then she started, I mean, having her conversation, or let's say her explanation in English, and from time to time she said like, oh yes, and we love passion fruit, because passion fruit is very popular in Venezuela, and guys, in Venezuela this is called parchita, and boom, and it was super nice, guys. I mean, to have this cultural element. So this is why learning a language could be an excellent way to understand different things. I mean, how cultures work, and let's say also the challenges. So I was watching, or well, I was on Instagram today, by the way, and I'm very proud of that. But I was seeing a challenge that is very popular at the moment. Well, I don't know, guys, if it will be popular by the time you will be watching that, because internet is very fast. But there was a guy. He's Mexican, and there's a challenge by Mr. Beast, and basically they need to stay inside a shopping center or a supermarket. Well, you can correct me, of course. And I mean, like, all the Americans are like very sad and like whatever, because I mean, they have been dealing with lack of sleep and etc. and so on. But the Mexican guy is thriving, because I mean, of course, no disrespect. I mean, everyone has a difficult journey in its way, but in their way, of course. But maybe Latin Americans were faced with really tough things, in our childhoods and etc. Well, most of us, of course. Well, in my case, well, I don't want to exaggerate, guys. I had like, I mean, my life with my parents was not like a disaster or something like that, or there was no violence or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. But what I'm saying is that the problems that we could have in Latin America could be a little bit denser. You know what I mean? And he's driving, so maybe you can learn that from this Mexican guy in etc. For example, guys, I mean, because you can take well, as the philosopher Miley Cyrus said, so you can take the best of both worlds. For example, guys, I noticed that we Spanish and Portuguese speakers, we tend to be like very into, let's say, beating around the bush. But I noticed that Americans, and something that particularly I appreciate from Americans, is that you guys are very formulaic in some situations. Well, not really formulaic, that's not a good word, now that I remember. You are very methodical. Like, okay, so this is the first step, the second, the third, the fourth. And sometimes, guys, I would say that, let's say, if we had this approach to life, it would be excellent. Like, okay, step one, step two, step three, and step four. And this is something, guys, that I learned from speaking English, which you need to have an introduction, you need to have a first step, second step. And guys, it changed my life. But had it not been for learning another language, it would have been impossible, I mean, to live it. And that's it, guys. It's very funny because I said like, well, I'm going to keep the video like very short because I need to go and whatever. Guys, it's a rumble at the end of the day. And well, people, I hope that you're enjoying these videos. Well, of course, there's this requirement, or But I would like to keep it like very natural, guys. I mean, like if you're enjoying these videos, if you're finding that these conversations with you are, let's say, are excellent in some way, just subscribe. I mean, hit the thumbs up. Let's say, leave a comment, and maybe on topics that you would like to listen to, or for me to share some opinions or some anecdotes and whatever. So totally welcome. And guys, I'm really really happy to be speaking English. It's nice. It's so comforting. Yeah. Also, guys, this is good. I mean, like as a bonus track or as a final point, when you speak, I mean, like when you had the chance to speak different languages, you feel like every language is like a different house. You know, like oh, I need something more comforting. For example, English, guys, is a language that makes me feel very relaxed, calm. Whereas Portuguese makes me feel more enthusiastic. For example, with the Spanish, I can express some emotions as well. And with French, I feel sophisticated, I would say. I know that it is a cliche, but I feel like, ouh là là, j'ai dois faire quelque chose après la vidéo et tout ça. Donc, c'est cool. But guys, I'm leaving. Thank you so much for your support and let's stay tuned.